everybody, I am Tiffany and today I am doing another book review. Pew pew! I am so excited for this book. I have been wanting to read it forever, it's been on my shelf forever, and I finally got to it in my little book routine thingamabobber that you don't really know about, but that's okay, you don't need to know the details of it. This book was so good, and it was totally worth the wait. And this book, if you haven't guessed by the title, is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you have not read this book, drop everything and read it. Mind-blowing. I haven't said that about a book, I feel like, in a really long time. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. So let me go ahead and give you the statistics for it and the plot summary and genre, all of that wonderful crazy stuff. Illuminae on Goodreads has a 4.32 out of 5. You know how insane that is for a book? Just read it. Just read it. Read it, read it, read it, read it, read it. So Illuminae, it's a very unique book, structure-wise especially. It's not your typical like third-person narrative or anything like that. It is composed of technically computer files. Look at this! That is writing. That is writing. That's a story right there going on. It makes this book so much fun at the same time, and it makes it go by really quickly. It basically centers around these two characters, Katie Grant and Ezra Mason, and they lived on this planet called Carenza, and Carenza basically gets blown up, and these ships come to help them and save the refugees from this explosion. And then more madness ensues in space. Very, 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 very sci-fi. It does definitely have this eerie quality about it, and maybe it's just because of the format, because for me, when you're reading computer files, I feel like, am I supposed to be seeing this? I feel like I'm intruding on something. The main thing I would say about this book is definitely power through the beginning. The beginning part, out of everything, it was still really good and really interesting, but that's the part that definitely is the most confusing, and then it's just completely mind-blowing the rest of the whole entire thing. It took me a little while to actually get past that, and then once I got to a certain point, I was like, gone. I was gone. I was just gone. I floated away into space. I knew I would probably like it because it was blurbed by Marie Lu. She is my all-time favorite author. Legend, young elites. Her new book, Warcross, is coming out. Huh! That cover? Huh! I'm excited. So that's really all I can say without spoiling you. If you do not want to be spoiled for this book, which I highly suggest you don't be spoiled for this book, then I really suggest you leave right now so that you can go and enjoy the book and then come back and then watch all of my reactions and feelings on it, and we can feel the feels together. Bye, non-spoilery people! Goodbye! Okay! Illuminae, Illuminae, Illuminae. Oh my gosh. I am so happy I got this book. So like I said though, in the non-spoilery section, the beginning was a little bit hard for me to get through. I really liked the story of Ezra and Katie. I didn't feel like anything was really happening on the ship, but at the same time I was kept intrigued because again I had that eerie feeling about it. Stuff is just going to go down and it's not going to be pretty. And boy, was that feeling right. For some books, the beginnings captivate you. And this, it kind of did. The relationship between them captivated me because I love Katie and Ezra. But the storyline itself, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. The moment that changed for me was the first big thing that happened. It's when you get introduced to Aiden, the artificial intelligence. So you're getting this report from Ezra telling about this incident and you're not really sure what's going on. I'm thinking this whole book is just leading up to the Lincoln attacking, which it is. But I'm thinking that you don't really hear about what's going on the other ships completely, especially the Copernicus. So you don't really hear anything about them. I thought it was going to be this whole thing of them strategizing, trying to figure it out, and then one epic battle against the Lincoln. They're flying around, and you get this alert from the artificial intelligence saying, blow up the Copernicus. Whoa, 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 we're destroying one of our own ships now? What the heck is going on? I'm like, no, it's going all how. You don't trust artificial intelligence. So they listen, and basically the Copernicus explodes, and then he's telling them to kill the refugees on the pods. No, no, don't do it. I thought they were going to. I was so mad. I was like, what the heck is going on? You're destroying innocent people. Luckily, the people that were flying the cyclones didn't kill the refugees. And then they shut down the artificial intelligence, which was the right decision. It was just this wake-up call. You have all this build-up and then all of a sudden, bam, first strike. Its artistic style was so impactful. I loved reading the book and then just having this section after that insane moment of just a list of names of all the casualties of it. And then the next few pages are pictures of all those people. I felt that. I think that's such an awesome way to really impact an audience, is to see the giant list of everybody who died on this ship. That's really, really smart. Genius! Genius! I loved that about this book, is the way it was artistically written. I did not expect anything that happened. It has been a very long time since I've had a book where everything I kind of guess is going to happen doesn't happen. It ends up being worse. And one thing that Illuminae does is that it flips everything upside down. So you spend a good amount of the book thinking this AI is absolutely evil. What he did to the Copernicus was stupid and he went all hell on everybody. Then you get the files about the Copernicus. And I should have known just how creepy those files would be. Because at the beginning of the thing, it says, might not be able basically to sleep at night. And I was like, how creepy is this gonna get? I did not expect that disease Phobos to be as scary as it was. First, I think these files are going to show just how evil Aiden is. It doesn't seem like it's that bad of a disease in a sense, but then once it escalated to the insane part, that was so creepy. Like, the first introduction is literally a guy gouges out his family's eyeballs. And I'm just freaking out this whole entire time as it goes more and more into detail about how this is spreading across the ship. Maybe Aiden wasn't as bad as we thought. I mean, I don't think he should have killed that many people. And the document that creeped me out the most was the one with the doctor, when they're trying to understand exactly what's happening with the disease and they're trying to study it, and he starts to get it. And guess what this page does? Look at this. It's a blood spatter. I was like, oh my god, he threw the blood on the document. I know it's not real, but I don't care. And then I was thinking after that, you have these refugees on the Alexander. You don't know if they have that virus in them. Side note, by the way, with Aiden, I don't know why, but his voice I was imagining as Michael Fassbender's voice, because Michael Fassbender has this very calming voice that doesn't show a whole lot of emotion with certain characters. He'd be perfect to play the voice of Aiden if they end up making it into a movie, which apparently is being produced by Brad Pitt, so they're gonna make the movie. It just kept going twist after twist after twist after twist, and I'm just like, this isn't okay. Is that okay? I can't take this much. Just the relationships on board is what made it for me. I mean, it was dark and it had that eerie quality, but it had so much humor in it too. Their interactions were phenomenal and made me crack up. Ezra Mason and James McNulty, their conversations were absolutely hilarious. The guy who was looking at the surveillance footage, he cracked me up the most. I was so excited every single time I saw that it was going back to that, because I'm like, this dude is absolutely hilarious. So I did like that it had some very dark qualities to it, but it kept the humor in it a little bit. Just hit after hit kept coming. First, with James McNulty, he goes on a mission, he doesn't come back, and just the way they do it is so it affects you so much, because literally the page you get is that Ezra is trying to message him 13 hours later and is like, dude, where are you at? You find out that he hasn't returned from his mission. And then you get the whole backstory into what happened, into that they went into the hangar bay where the crazies are and basically tried to stop it or save people. I don't know why they went down there. I can't remember. He basically gets stuck in there. He sacrifices himself so the rest of the people can get out. No. That was the first main character I felt like I lost. And then of course, Ezra is furious with Katie because he finds out she's been hacking into stuff and getting information and all of that. But then the next bombshell hits. It doesn't give you a break, because Katie and Ezra have mentioned her mom, and Ezra's always like, say hi to your mom for me. And you don't really think twice about it. Katie kind of avoids it, and then all of a sudden you get these documentations about how her mom went over to the Copernicus before it exploded, that she requested Katie stay on the Hypatia because she knew that Katie would try and go over to the Copernicus with her, and her mom was saying, no, she can't. That was so devastating. I know we didn't really meet the mom, but the fact that we thought the mom was alive this whole time and she's not, and you realize that Ezra's the only person Katie has left, it was really, really intense. And thank God Ezra forgave her after that, because I was like, if you're gonna be a jerk to her the rest of this book, I'm done. I need you two to be kind of happy during this, because nothing else happy is going on right now. After the Copernicus really exploding, it just has this impending sense of doom. But the one thing I will say that did bug me a little bit is that they hinted that the mom might actually be alive because she might be in the hangar bays and made it off. Then everybody went crazy down there, but then they said that there was like a little bit of movement, but you didn't know what it was. So I kind of wish they had explored that, or that Katie would have at least found her mom. I mean, she goes and checks at the end when she's on the Alexander. You just assume she's dead. I would have liked to see a moment maybe where she sees her mom crazy. That'd be so sad though. Or even sees her body or something, because it really makes you believe that maybe possibly she's going to run into her mom again, but her mom never shows up again, and it's really sad. It just had this never-ending sense of doom throughout the whole rest of the thing. You have the Lincoln countdown of like how far the Lincoln is from them. At first attack, you thought it was chaos before. This is when it went to chaos, because in order to defeat the Lincoln, they have to bring up the stupid Aiden. And he helps them destroy the Lincoln partially, or delay them at least. And then what does Aiden do? He releases all the crazies down in Hangar Bay 4 into the ship. You have got to be kidding me. Because that is terrifying you this whole time. That these crazies are at the bottom of Alexander and Ezra is on that ship. Nothing can happen to the Alexander or Apatia because my two favorite main characters are on those ships. He releases the crazies and they all go running after everybody. Torrance taking his final stand, Aiden playing that classical music. That was just rude. That was creepy and that was rude. Oh, this artificial intelligence drives me insane! Then you have the whole thing with Byron, because Byron had to go over to the Alexander, and he's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself in order to save the people on Alexander, hopefully. And so he just starts destroying Aiden, and I'm just like, he's dead. He's so dead. This is so sad. Everybody's dead. And in the midst of this, you're just holding on to the hope that Ezra is going to be okay. You have him and Katie just messaging back and forth. This is the only thing that's keeping me calm right now. Katie decides she's going to go to the Alexander to save Ezra. I would like want her to, but at the same time, I'm like, Katie, I really just want you to be safe. I'm so scared right now. And you just have all these intense moments with her. She runs into Dorian, which was extremely sad. She runs into McNulty, he's already dead, and she gets the video footage. That's extremely sad. She looks for her mom, and then on top of it all, she runs into Byron. That moment was so heartbreaking because for a second you think he's okay. He's normal, he's not infected yet, and he's destroying Aiden right now. And you're like, go Byron, go, let's team up. But then you see that he's crazy. Katie's like, oh my gosh, because Byron's like, I'm going to kill you next. And it was so creepy and so heartbreaking at the same time. I thought she was really gonna have to shoot him, but the self-sacrifice that he does, it was just, oh, the feels are so much. And then the biggest bombshell of this whole entire book happens immediately after that. I'm already trying to recover from Byron. She's looking for Ezra, and I'm like, let's get Ezra and get out of here. And then what does Aiden drop? He goes, you were never messaging Ezra. And I literally could not read for a couple seconds after that. Is Ezra dead then? Did we come on the Alexander for nothing? I was so mad, and I was pissed off, and I was, That was the biggest twist to me of this whole thing, because I did not see it coming. I would not think for a second that the texting between them had stopped at one point, and that Aiden picked it up. This stupid artificial intelligence. We better not make anything like Aiden in the future, because that's not gonna end well. I'm seriously thinking Ezra's dead, okay? I don't have hope anymore. This book is not hopeful. I don't think he's alive. And then on top of that, I think Katie is going to die too. That final just sequence is so action-packed and intense. You have the crazies coming after her, and they're saying, little birdie, over the comm, and they're tracking her down, and that's what makes them so scary, is that they still have senses about them in a sense. They can be manipulative and smart. They're crazy and want to kill, but they're smart and tactical. So she's being chased by all of these people. You have the Lincoln coming in. I'm like, she's not going to survive this. Again, Illuminae flips everything on its head. At the same time, though, as Katie's learning to trust Aiden, you're kind of learning to trust it too. And you're kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this thing. Because you kind of feel bad, but then you don't feel bad. It's just so confusing. And I'm like, no, you're not allowed to change my mind about the stupid artificial intelligence. I've been pissed at him throughout this entire book. You are not allowed to change it. And so you think she's going to die, but then she doesn't. Thank the Lord. Thank you. And that moment, though, when you realize that Ezra is alive, they meet up and kiss, I was just like, tears were coming. It ended somewhat happy. And then finally, Illuminae leaves you with one more bombshell. The leader of Bitech is Ezra's mom. Crazy mom he's mentioned a couple of times. I don't know what Gemina is exactly about. I don't know if it follows the same characters. I was told it doesn't. It follows different characters. From what I gather from the last conversation, it's files around the same event, but how it affected somewhere else. You can tell me at least that if it doesn't follow them. If it does, then cool. Just don't spoil me on anything else, please. That is really all I have to say about this book. I've been ranting for quite a while and freaking out non-stop, so I should probably go. Thank you for watching this. I really, really appreciate it. Such a good book. Go get it yourself if you haven't read it yet. If you stuck around to the end and you haven't read it yet, then well, it's okay, I guess. But still, you should still go out and read it because it's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day you're watching this, and don't forget to be awesome. And don't make an artificial intelligence named Aiden, please, for the protection of mankind. Have a good day. Goodbye. Woo!